The new SpeediCath Flex is the result of our continuous efforts to make life easier for the people using catheters, to understand them and to better meet their needs. This cooperation between us, clinicians and users makes us stronger together. It has enabled us to challenge the existing solutions and take every aspect of what it's like to be a catheter user into account. I think that for a lot of people, both new patients as well as experienced users, this will be perceived as something entirely new. We have a combination of features that enable people to have a very different catheterizing experience.
Most men are afraid of inserting the catheter. They're afraid of pain and of hurting themselves. And nurses tell us that fear makes the patient tense up, which makes the insertion even more difficult. To overcome this initial fear, it's very important that the first insertion becomes a success.
We learned from users and clinicians that a softer catheter would be perceived as gentler, which is important when users are starting for the first time and they're overcoming their initial fear of catheterization. We also realized that the tip of the catheter held an important opportunity for us because that also affects people's perception of the catheter and its softness. We know that the male urethra is, in any case, a very complicated path to navigate through. So we realized that if we could change the design of the tip, maybe we can make it navigate better, and we thought this would be a possibility to take the catheter to a whole new level.
And actually, when you design a tip like this, it's about finding the perfect shape in just the right material. We've looked at a lot of different things, like cardio equipment and flexible devices and all things that help you navigate through passages easily. We actually spent hours and hours of testing and designing this tip, and what we came up with was a shape that reminds you of a water droplet just after hitting the surface, designed to provide an easy and gentle insertion into the urethra.
In fact, it actually bends in 90 degrees in all directions, so it's omnidirectional, and it means you don't have to steer it when you put it into a urethra. It will find its own way, and the rounded tip means that it kind of centers itself in that urethra as you push it through.
Talking to users and nurses, we know that getting UTIs is a major concern. The fear of inserting bacteria often make users compromise on the bladder health and also on the quality of life. They simply reduce the number of catheterizations and drink less. But with the closed-loop system and the bacteria-proof sleeve that we have developed, the catheter is protected and makes the entire process more hygienic. So we really believe that SpeediCath Flex makes it easier for the users that are worried about inserting bacteria.
When a user has to learn to self-catheterize, you must remember that it's a very vulnerable time for them because it's that time when they're going to be establishing the good habits that they need to have. Being able to take the time to touch the catheter through the sleeve is very important because it means that they can steer the catheter as they want and they're less likely to make errors and they're more likely to establish a good, clean technique.
That's why we decided to make a sleeve around the catheter so that it's a dry experience when you touch it. But on the inside of the sleeve, we have the moisten from the well-known SpeediCath coating that we use. And we've also developed this protective grip that is gentle towards the genitals, and it enables you to position the catheter in the urethra and then inch in the catheter while we still have the control during insertion. And it's all without touching the catheter in any way, like a clean, closed-loop system.
Discretion is an interesting concept because it can mean a lot of different things for different people. When you use catheters, it's about having something kept private.
The packaging is a vital part of the whole product experience. It's something that the user will take with them when they go out or on something they need to use at home. It has to be versatile. We wanted to make something that was very functional, but we also needed something that would provide privacy to our users.
And the first thing that you notice about our packaging is that it is unlike other medical devices or products that you see. Just looking at the opening, it's easy, even though you have reduced dexterity.
We looked into other industries, what they're doing with packaging, to gain inspiration, for example, from the hiking environment, to get a packaging that would be more flexible for their lives.
When you use the catheter, you can reclose the catheter itself. You have both this closed loop here that contains the residual urine, and you can fold it up and put back into the packaging, which gives you this tidy and hygienic experience of using it.
You're locking away all the moisture inside, so you don't have to worry about it affecting your day.
We're really excited to launch this soft and flexible catheter for men. Behind us stand more than 200 Coloplast colleagues, clinicians and users, and we've worked together to make this happen, and we couldn't have done it without any of them. We're convinced that this new catheter will give new as well as experienced users a better catheterizing experience the first time and every time.